90% of all Cowboys were black. Even the Lone Ranger were black.
Who's the Lone Ranger?
Really?
Harp, you teaching this boy anything?
Congratulations on Concrete Cowboy. Hey! We're about to turn up. So first, I'd like to ask all of you, when did you first hear of Black Cowboys?
For me, actually, I think there's a Bob Marley tune called Buffalo Soldiers. And I was like, ooh, wait, is that Cowboys? And da-da-da. And that was like when I was really, really young.
I knew there was a Black cowboy community that came out of slavery, and where the escaped slaves went to the Indian nation, and there was a whole cowboy community, especially in Florida. I grew up in the era of, Buck and the Preacher, Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte, but not a real urban community modern day.
It was this project for me. It was this project.
For me, it was a movie called Posse. I mean, I've heard of Black Cowboys before, but nothing like this.
Your character, actually, Lorraine, mentioned that the history of these Black Cowboys had been whitewashed. Why would you say that is?
It's been whitewashed in Hollywood. Black people have been cowboys and part of the cowboy community for centuries, but we have not seen that. They have not been glorified and they have not been romanticized the way that community and that culture has in film. As quiet as it's kept, just like Fletcher Street. They've been there since the 1800s.
We also know that the Lone Ranger was based off of a Black man, and specifically Bass Reeves. And Mr. Smith, I know that you are a huge comic book fan. So what would it have meant to have seen the Lone Ranger as a Black man, sort of coming up?
Me as a youth growing up, we had Batman, we had, different superheroes here and there, but none of them looked like us, so that would have been excellent. That's what I would have been a kid in a candy store, I would have stood on that when we played superheroes. All right, I'm gonna be the Lone Ranger. He Black.
Jerome, we have to talk about really in being a Black cowboy who turned to a drug dealer, all the spoilers. How do you maintain, the integrity of this? So one, the Black cowboy, so someone who's in that community, but someone who's sort of the child who went off and really never came back home.
It's tragic, but it's interesting how you see the type of person that Smush is exactly the type of person that a cowboy is. Someone who acts out of love first, and someone who will think about those around them regardless of the choices that they're making. Smush was all ambition, he was all drive, and he cared about his family. Even when he speaks to Cole about Harp not really messing with him anymore, you can see the pain in Smush and wishing that he was able to just go back to the stables. But I think he felt like he was just so far gone that this was the only way. But there's such a brutal honesty behind him, and it makes you sad because it makes you realize, well, how many men and women are truly like Smush, where they're trapped in a system and forced to do certain things, but truly just have the best intentions at heart.